It is indeed Chaz, the Sixth Sense. It's true. So this is The Roottrees Are Dead. It's December 6th, 1998. I think my face cam is covering that, but like that's the date on the paper here. This came out today, but also like a year and a bit ago, depending on how you look at things. Man, that's a nice. I like the song. It's a little loud, but we can actually maybe we'll go here and then like. That seems fine. Because then I can keep the rest of the volume up without the music being overpowering. It is 1998, yes. I'm not sure if I typed 89 in the notification or not, but yeah, it is 98. So this originally was like a jam game. It was a free browser game that you could, like it was on itch. And it was on the list of things, like when I had a list of things for the 10-hour stream, because I had no idea how much stuff I needed to plan for that. This was on the list. So if you would have run out of stuff to do with like a couple hours to go or whatever, this is what we would have done. And then I never got around to it. Yesterday, was it yesterday? No, release date January 15th, that's today. Still, for 15 minutes for me. What was I saying? I don't know. Oh yeah, it came out in 1998. Oh that, yeah, no, yeah, that was maybe 2 days ago. I don't know. Anyway, so this came out in 2023. Towards the end of 2023, November sometime, because I had it on the list for December 1st. And it was like a jam game, so they didn't have music, I'm pretty sure, and I think all the art was AI art, because it was just like a quick jam thing. They didn't like have an artist, they didn't hire anyone to do that. And then it was really popular apparently, and then they decided to re-release it with like proper art, like non-AI art and music and voice acting. And then now it's out, so that's great. And it's like a sort of Obra Dinn, what's the other one? That's also on my list, but I haven't played it yet. The Case of the Golden Idol, I think. Like one of those detective kind of, I don't know, puzzle games. And it's set in 1998. And apparently we're in Butler. Well, the paper is from Butler, Pennsylvania. The Butler County Times, trusted for over 100 years. Probably long out of business, I would imagine. There, you know, probably not many papers left. For like, how is Butler a real place? It sounds like it could be a real place, but I don't know, you know, Pennsylvania that well. Anyway, paper was $1.50 for the late edition. Anyway, so let's read this, I guess. I don't know. What happened? I don't know if you'll get this again or if it's just on the title screen, but let's read it anyway. What happened? The plane crashed last night near Pittsburgh. I know where that is, roughly. The only passengers were Carl Roottree and his 3 daughters, known as the Roottree sisters. Carl Roottree was the president of the Roottree Candy Company, and it's not clear who will succeed him. So far, local police are not sure what caused the crash, but we are told that an investigation is underway. And there's like a map of the crash site, but I can't really tell where that is. Can't really read the road numbers. We could geoguess it probably. Anyway, they're calling it one of the most deadly plane crashes in Pennsylvania's history. All passengers and crew perished. Pittsburgh is generally known for pleasant flying conditions, and the weather was not atypical for this time of year. Well, December though, could have been like a winter storm, no? We do not know much at this time, but our sources tell us that local authorities do not suspect terrorism. Why would they? It's 1998. Anyway, the crash did not cause any local property damage. Unfortunately, nobody outside the plane was hurt. Well, no one outside the plane was hurt by the plane crash, but there were probably people hurt outside the plane. because it's a big plan and lots of people. Anyway, funeral plans have not been announced, but you can be sure that the Butler County Times will cover it to the best of our abilities. And then, I don't know, a spokesperson for the company has asked that, and then we can read the rest. Yeah, it's too early in the timeline to suspect terrorism. Anyway, I guess let's click new game and see what we learn. Also, we might have to move the camera. I don't know yet. I have not played this. Oh, and then this is also new, right? I did read this. So this is the same game that was the free game from 2023, but they added content in Roottree Mania. Mystery will unlock once you finish the Roottrees of Dead. So once we finish this, we get like a bonus thing too. But I have not played any of it. It was just on the list. I never even looked at the UI for the browser game. It would have been like completely blind as it always is. I know this is too. Anyway, let's use slot number 2 because it's the cursed one. The Roottrees are loading. Nice. It's December 6th, 1998, yes. It looks like it's night.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottree Corporation. Mm-hmm. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash.
What'd I say?
On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottree and his daughters, the Roottree sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
You said the title. Weird looking newscaster though.
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news.
Of course.
In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottree company's lawyers are scrambling.
Mm-hmm. Who cares? Oh man. Got an email today from your boss, and the quick view blurbs just said you can just bank on 2 towers, and you immediately thought your boss was making 9/11 jokes. No, not what she was doing. No, it's clearly like a Lord of the Rings reference. 2 towers, Barad-dûr and Orthanc, which is I don't think it's clear that it's those 2. Anyway, whatever. Hello Bob, how's it going? I think conditions like that recent one entered the flat spin. Maybe. Anyway, okay, so yeah, the company lawyers are scrambling. The newscaster looked like the glasses didn't look very 1998 to me. Also, I feel like...
Whoop whoop, too low terrain, pull up.
Yes. Hello Dave, thank you for 7 months. Definitely a good idea to pour up when you see, the low terrain. I think I want I feel like, I don't know, how did news people in the 90s look in the US? Maybe on local news it's different, but I feel like they were all old guys. And he didn't look old enough. And the glasses looked a bit out of I don't know, they're 10 years earlier maybe. People only trust the news from old white guys. Yes, I mean that has changed here now. They have, the national broadcast of the news. They have actually a pretty diverse group of news people now. But I feel like back then, I don't know. In the olden days, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering, but that's what it feels like. So when you see terrain, that's the warning, the ground proximity warning system will produce before you see the terrain. I mean, it depends on how good the warning system is, I guess. Or is a really tight shot of him? That is true. Usually, there's more space for the, yeah. Anyway, but it's like local news in like Butler, Pennsylvania. Who knows what they looked like in the 90s? I don't know. Anyway. Right.
Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for.
Am I a blood relative? I guess, yeah, like the patriarch and all the daughters are like gone, so like the money has to go somewhere. I'll take it, you know. Maybe I'm about to be underworked and overpaid. If I'm in charge of figuring out, I'm just gonna figure out that I'm like the long lost like cousin or something. I'm gonna get all the money. You know, that's the plan, right?
I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees. A genealogy genie, as it were.
Yes, sure.
I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Okay. Complete the family tree of the Roottrees sisters. Siblings are in birth order: oldest, middlest, youngest. Examine my evidence. Search the internet for clues. That's why we have to be in 98 and not in 89. It would be much harder to do the internet search in 89. Fill in the name, fill in the occupations, fill in the photos. I'm guessing they didn't really have real occupations. That's just that's the vibe I got. Maybe I'm, you know, maybe one of them, but like I feel like at least two of them are not gonna have like a you know, like a real like job. And one of them was apparently married to unknown name. Modeling is a career? Sure, yes. But like they didn't start, you know. Models and fashion lines, yes. But I'm guessing that like they are rich and then they just had that fashion line and then they modeled for that fashion line. But then you're not, you know. Like if you just are like rich and you start your own like music label and then you like sign yourself as an artist, you're not really like a musician, you know. Anyway. Got milk picture, sure. It's new, okay. The person who hired you gave you this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottree Sisters Got Milk ad. I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. Oh, because they died, okay. The ad's copy read. You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading. I'm not reading a magazine, so that's kind of useless. Or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. I'm also not eating a candy bar, which is like... That's like an issue. Man, I could eat. Being a Roottree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it. Is that true? Anyway. So why do we didn't learn anything? This copy is useless. It doesn't give us any information. We knew that they were the sisters already, and there's nothing there other than that calcium is important. Oh, I can create okay, calcium found in milk is so important. Create highlight. I gotta remember that for sure. Okay, so we have our notes here. We can type notes and we can just highlight stuff. I like that. That's nice. Oh, I'm gonna be three. Okay, we get 3 headshots. I like it. We can zoom into. Yes. Anything? Any like Nah, nothing. They all kind of look the same. No, like weird piercings or tattoos or I don't know. Nothing like that makes them like stand out. Slightly different hair, but you know, they do definitely look like sisters. I mean, maybe like pierced ears, and then maybe not. So maybe that would be something. But I'm not sure. Like, they could just be not wearing earrings. Anyway. Hello, B. How's it going? America really wanted children to subsidize the dairy industry. Billions of pounds of cheese in bunkers wasn't enough. I mean, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? There's 100% cacao chocolate. That is true. There's no calcium in there. Very smooth skin. I mean, it's like an ad, you know. So, yeah, touched up probably. Right, so that's the only evidence we have. And now I go back here to my thing. Search the internet for clues. Welcome. Welcome to the information superhighway. Thanks for purchasing a new Casio PC. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, that's nice, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even those with high-resolution images. I mean, yes, sure. In 1998, yes. If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end color laser printer. Or burn a music CD to listen to later. Can I burn a music CD to listen to later? I want to do that. If you want to revisit a search result, be sure to use Netscape Navigator's new history feature. I can't read. Happy surfing, and remember, Casio PCs are delicious. Casio PCs are inedible. Do not try to eat your computer. Man, that does look very reminiscent of, you know, I guess Windows. I guess it'd be 98. In 98. Yes. Mm-hmm. The concept of a Casio PC is indeed nuts. Very good, Dave. Anyway. Can't wait for your hospital appointment for your elbow. Hope it all goes well. And hope it's soon. Did anyone else's school cafeteria serve milk in bags? I think that's like it's a US question. Man, the chest is nice. It's very smooth. Okay, so we're online now. We can spider search. Alright, so we're using our Netscape Explorer and we're using spider search. You can create notes quickly by adding text with your mouse. Okay, what do we look for? NFL standings. No NFLs? I want to see who's first in the AFC East. There are lots of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. You also come across an unofficial Roottree fansite seemingly curated by a teenager. How would I know that? It's neon pink with purple text. That's just websites in 98, all of them. And how to read until you highlight the words. The young webmaster writes, Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest. Can I okay, I have to make this one thing, I guess. And got married to TMS. Who's TMS? Riley's a smart one. Rose is a middle child like me. that's like throwing shade, kind of, you know. One is very famous and married to someone noteworthy. One is smart and the other one is the middle one. Anyway, so Raina is the most famous because oldest. Sure, I don't know if there's like real causation there, but okay. Married to a TMS. Riley is a smart one. Rose is middle child. Okay. You might think they're rich just because they are models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company. See, I would have thought it's the other way around. I would have thought they're rich because their dad is the president of a candy company, and definitely not because they were models, but I don't know. And their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer, sure. They do the modeling for her brand Roots. Brenda's the mom. And she's a fashion designer. Here we go. I eat Roottree candy all the time. My favorite are Maple Crisps. I try to dress in plaid root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose, so Rose has the pierced ears. And Riley is wearing the plaid. There we go. The website also continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about the Root fashion lines, but none of it is relevant. How do we know that? I want to read it all. I want to read it all. Anyway. Margaret Thatcher stopped milking Scours. She did some other stuff too, I think. If I remember right. Not the most popular, you know. Anyway, little cartons of milk when you were at Scour. Some little bottles of milk at primary school now, nice. Much more appetizing than bagged, yes. You're a middle child, you get it. Can't have stuff like news or sports, maybe. Name spellings are off-putting. I mean, they're rich and famous, so, you know. Like weird H's, why not? News. Sports. There's no online like betting. We could like bet on the, you know. Like I know a lot of the, you know, results of like sports things. And the ones I don't know, we could look up. We could be rich in no time, and then we don't have to do the whole detective thing anymore. Anyway. Anything else we want to look at? What else can I even look for? Root is a pretty common word. It's true. Researchers are not case sensitive. If you're searching for something specific, you should keep an eye on how it's spelled and punctuated during your search. For example, the clothing company Root always has a period after it, even if it's not at the end of a sentence. Additionally, if you're searching for a name, most of the time you'll need the full name, but sometimes if someone goes by nickname, searching for the nicknames is the only way to find results. Root, the period is part of the name, so it's like Root period then? As a clothing company, they make clothes for children from toddlers to teenagers, although their website is down, likely to increased web traffic. You find countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes towards the target audience. One of them has this to say: "You've spied the Roottrees sisters looking hella fly on catalogs, magazines and posters. Hella fly indeed. Now you too can be like Riley, Rose and Raina." You also come across a website from a collector of clothing catalogs. Apparently Root period has released 2 catalogs per year every year since 1984, and Raina appeared on almost all of them. So was she born before 84? I don't know how. Well, they're older than 14 for sure. I mean, I don't know. Based on the picture, I would guess that anyway. There's only one that the webmaster considers a collector's item enough to mention. It seems that Brenda Roottree, the Roottree sisters' mother and Root period's head designer, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose in 1985. The site says this was the only time her daughter was ever listed with her birth name, Carly Roottree. Interesting. Alright, let's look for... So Rose is Carly. So they're like not even their real names. Let's look for... Riley Roottree. Yeah, a picture is sure. No, that's just this again. So I can't like look up more about them now? No. Stumble across an auction for a black and blue dress, so maybe it's white and gold, I don't know. There's a Brenda White original. The auction describes it as a vintage dress from before Brenda became Brenda Roottree and started designing clothes for a Root period. The white and gold dress itself doesn't seem relevant to your search. Of course. Good reference. The bad names might be fake. They chose those names. I mean, like, even if someone chose the name anyway, even if it's like a given name, then, you know, they didn't choose it themselves, but someone else did. What's the dad's name? Carl? Yes, Carl Roottree died in the recent plane crash along with his wife Brenda and their daughters, the Roottrie sisters. He was the president of the Roottree Candy Company as well as the clothing company Root Period, which he co-founded with his wife. According to news sites, the Roottree Candy Company plans to put out a press release sometime within the hour to address the absence of Carl, the crash, and questions they have been receiving. Once you finish placing the Roottrie sisters on the family tree, it would be wise to repeat the search. Okay. So, we know... What do we know? Rose has pierced ears. Riley wears plaid, and then Rose is actually Carly. How can I have these all up at the same time? Kinda. Can I have the pictures like to put here? Like these ones, like the individual ones. Can I not like put them there? Or I could drag them there. Okay, like this. So the oldest one, I can't remember things. It might be an issue. Wait, how do I get to my notes from here? Here? Here. Okay, so Raina is the oldest. There's a lot of names. And the youngest is... I could keep confusing things. Riley's the smart one. Riley's the youngest. Rose is the middle. Oh yeah, and Rose doesn't exist because her name is Carly. Right. And this is TMS. I don't know how we find them though. Thomas Sheridan TS, maybe. Don't know what the M would be. It could be a middle name that we don't have. We should Google that probably. Or not Google it, we should like spider search it. And I mean, they're all like models. Do we just type model for every one of them? Media mower, sure, that's a good profession. Spider, that's definitely the right slang, yes. Fill in the photos. How do I fill in the photos? Oh, like this. Okay, so. Rose has pierced ears. I wish I could drag these. And Rose is the one that doesn't exist. They are too similar, the names. Right, and then Riley. It's this one, right? Okay. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. If ours is locked, the following optional entries none. But I wanted, like, I didn't want this. I thought I would get like an opportunity to, you know, send it, because I want to find out who TMS is.
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet.
Yes.
Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired.
Thanks, I guess.
The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even. But here's the catch.
What's the catch?
The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives.
I mean, but like, I can't know. Like, I can Google or spider, information and stuff like that. But like, to know if they're like blood relatives, that you'd have to do like a DNA test, I guess. I guess I'll have just to trust information.
Anyone related only by marriage is optional. But filling them in can lead to useful discoveries.
Sure.
Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees.
Notable Roottrees, nice.
Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree.
So everyone but the middle sister.
I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
How will you know that I've identified 6 more blood relatives, though? What now?
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Rootrees reaches out...
Speaking of, you never, like... Can I see some ID? Who are you?
I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here.
I don't even know who you are.
Thank you, and good luck.
I couldn't even mention you if I wanted to, because I have no idea who you are. Sleuth. Okay, 6 more than the person who hired me returns. Every time you get 3 additional blood relatives in the family tree completely correct, name, occupation, and portrait, they will be locked in. All non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional, but placing them in the tree helps remove extra names and photos. That makes sense. That's a big family tree. So that's the dad. Oh, it's the mom. Brenda White, yes. And his occupation is like candy person. He's like the CEO. I guess he's the CEO. Anyway. I can use the internet, it's true. You think you spider? That's, interesting knowing there. It's definitely one you can literally translate. DNA home kits were not available in 98. That's true. The dark web, yes, unique website. We get some special stuff. Sounds like a setup. It does sound like whoever is hiring us here might have some, some automotive, Maybe they want the money. She wants the money. Who knows? Don't forget, family trees use surnames from birth, even if the person changed their last name after marriage. Always use a person's most recent occupation. Or if it dunces, yeah, that's me. Top secret. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. I could just open it now. It's like on my wall. So names that must be typed in manually. The clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps in logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. I don't know. Found in 1908. Okay. By Gwyneth and Elias. Leaps in logic? No, that's not great, but we'll see. So that's the only... No, okay, that's new evidence. We got notable Roottrees. Yeah, I'm not covering anything important, I think. Notable Roottrees. The Roottree sisters, Carl Roottree, Elias and Gwyneth. Gwyn, Red, probably a nickname. Jim, Lauren, and Murder Jr. But who's Miracle Senior? There has to be a senior for the, you know, in order for them to have like a junior, right? Easy to find online. Miracle Junior is going to be easy to find online, I guess, if you say so. What's 35? Intuition. You've been in this line of work a long time. So long, in fact, you've developed a sixth sense. That's Chaz, the sixth sense. That's, I guess, why we're hearing it constantly. Anyway, for how useful your evidence can be, the numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more there is to find. At the start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm bells. A list of famous people that you can find via search engine. It's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. As you progress, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or lock-in family members, new discoveries will be added to the list, and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people of races it mentions. Often the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence has such high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. Okay, list of notable Roottrees. Person who hired you gave you this list and said everyone on it could be found easily via a search engine. Yes. The sisters Carl, the founders Quinn, Red, Jim, Lauren, and Merkel Jr. An entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list will be marked with a star. Notable Roottrees will be crossed out after they are verified and locked. Good. Good night, Noise. Sleep well, sleep well. And yeah, thanks again for the resub and the giant tree. Sleep well. Yes, very developed chess sense. I guess you do that as a, you know, as a private eye. Right. Then we have 5 Pieces ad. This is an advertisement for 5 Pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. It mentions that the 5 Pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. Okay. That seems useful. The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. I don't know how useful back then is, maybe. Roottree 5 Pieces. There's cool chocolates. Why are they like leaf shaped? We're very anti-leaf here, you know. Bad Blue Raspberry, Awesome Apple, Power Plum, and So Strawberry. I guess that one isn't really a leaf. There's 5 flavors because the original inventor had 5 kids. Maybe that's why kids still love them. It's a bad ad. Radically new flavors because it's no longer the 1920s. What even is an elderberry anyway? Like it's an old berry. Stupid question. So they were from the 1920s. And they had, like, someone in the 1920s invented the 5 Pieces and had 5 kids. I don't know how I can't like highlight this though, so I can't put it in my notes. Why are they leaf shaped? They're from Pittsburgh, not Canada. I mean, maybe they're only in Pittsburgh now. Maybe it used to be, you know, north of the border in 1920. The story so far. Just a weird tight shot of the newscaster. The Roottrees sisters and their parents died in a plane crash on December 6th, 1998. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door and said the lawyers were looking to sort out the family tree. After a quick test, the figure gave you access to some resources. This included a list of notable Rootrees, who they said would be the easiest family members to place. They said they would return in the time it took to fill out 6 more blood relatives. It's just like, how do they know? How do they know? Immigrants, yes, maybe. Anyway. Okay, so that's my evidence stuff. Sure, let's go look for some people. Oh, okay, we have the public library. What can we look for there? Author name. It's too many. Too many things to type. Periodicals. What can we... Okay. Magazines and newspapers. It's not gonna... You know, I need to know the title. Okay, let's go spider search. Merkel Jr. doesn't go by his full name in promotional materials. Instead, he's shortened it to Merkel Jr. You don't say. Merkel Jr. is a televangelist who is part of the Merkel Network. He used to have a show that aired on local access across many stations in the northeastern United States. A very American story here. This is, you know... According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in 1979 when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. So, did he... this is vague. Like, he healed someone in a wheelchair. So he was in a wheelchair and healed someone else who wasn't in a wheelchair. It's the first option. Second option is, he healed someone who was in a wheelchair. Like, the person who you know, got healed was in the wheelchair. But did he heal them... from, like, you know, they had like a cold and he healed the cold, but they were still in the wheelchair? Or did he like make them walk again? Those are like very different scenarios, and I need to know which one it is. This is not good writing. Anyway, a news expose revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in a disguise. The author also mentions that Edith had a bit of a checkered past herself, but doesn't clarify. So Edith, how do I mark this? Like, Edith is the wife, 1979. But I need like Merkel Jr. in there too. I guess we can get rid of these. That one might still be relevant. Actually, no. Oh yeah, it says Merkel Jr. there. Okay, it gives me what I search for that. I see. That's nice. If it's a fraud, he didn't do any of the three options. But it says he was charged with conspiracy to defraud the public when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. It doesn't say that the defraud stuff, like it just happened at the moment he was claiming to heal someone in a wheelchair. You could also interpret it that way. Like the defrauding was something completely unrelated to the healing. It just happened during that. Anyway. I don't really how's it going. Quick lurk before bedtime is a good, you know, it's a good time to lurk for sure. He has since lost his television show. Why though? That's not very American. Just because he got like charged with defrauding the public, that doesn't stop anyone from being on TV in the US. As it goes on tour across the southern United States. Okay, so he changed from the northeast to the south after being charged. That makes sense again. Where he was not well known before the scandal, yes. Okay. I don't want hints. I like the duck though, but I don't want hints. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted more names. I guess that's, yeah, Carl. We did like start that before, but then we couldn't actually do anything. Carl Roottrie died in the recent plane crash, yes. Brenda daughters, yes. President of the Roottree Candy Company, as well as the clothing company Root Period. Short press release. It is with a heavy heart that we mourn the loss of Carl, Brenda, the Roottree sisters, and the other employees that perished in the terrible tragedy. The entire Roottree family is in shock and requesting privacy at this time. As the head of our company, Carl was an incredible man and an unmatched leader. Filling his absence will be difficult and may take considerable time. In the interim, we hope that you join us in looking back fondly on Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. You go on to list some of those accomplishments. One of them seems relevant to your search. Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. Okay. What was it? Watchman. Okay, we have a new periodical added, the Business Watch magazine. It's a magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and the economy. They've been around for over 100 years in one form or another, and will often write about major changes in management at famous companies. Every year they offer an award to a prominent businessman who has furthered the field. Definitely man, not like businesswoman. Or the Watchman of the Year, I guess. The card is Watchman of the Year. You find through a few searches that 2 Rootrees have been featured as Watchman of the Year. Okay. So Carl is the... yeah, and then Elias is the great-grandfather of Carl. Great-grandfather, yes. Business Watch does not host any online archives on any site you can find via spider search, though you may be able to find individual articles and issues for your periodical search. But like, I would have to know... what to look for. Business Watch has awarded Watchman of the Year to many people throughout the years. Every 10 years they publish the full list again. You can search the most recent lists, and the only names you recognize are Elias Roottree in 1936 and Carl in 1987. I guess I don't need this one then, because this one has all the information and more. Nice, okay. Good. I forgot all the other names again. Gwyn? Like this, maybe? Or we're printing something nice. You find some information on the website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. Yes. Anyway. It was bought by the 1998 version of The Onion. I mean, there were satire, like Mad Magazine, that was around. It was like a satire magazine. Not like The Onion, but you know. Anyway, also not, you know, yeah, whatever. Right. Not available on VHS. The site is not very well organized and the search is broken. Nice, but you can get to individual pages from your search engine. Gwyn Roottree is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Her biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwyn from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Did you know, trivia? Gwyn was the granddaughter of Elias Roottree, the founder of Roottree Candy. She shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. That makes sense. But she's still a blood relative, yes. Because the mother was a Roottree. Nice, okay, so let's go to the evidence thing. Let's go here. So we have Carl, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, yes. I mean, we could have like... Oh, we don't know if he has a middle name though. And are there more Gwyneths too? There are 2. I don't know which one is the wife here. Okay. And we know Gwyn was the granddaughter. And her mother was a Roottree. But you can't really place that yet. I mean, she's noteworthy, and she's in this row, but that's all we know. Too many kids. We need to find the different kids to figure out who's who. Actually, not that easy.